these families and bringing you their stories. And we begin tonight with Daniel Robinson, a 24-year-old geologist living and working in Buckeye, Arizona. It is one of the westernmost suburbs of Phoenix. It's a low-lying desert valley, a resort spot that has quickly grown into a full-scale city. And it is where Daniel set off on a start for a job that he loved. He left work in Buckeye June 23rd. He has not been seen or heard from since. Puzzling clues, a crash scene that raises a lot of questions is what we know tonight. News Nation correspondent Nancy Liu is live in Buckeye for us, where she spent some time with Daniel's father. Nancy.
Marnie, it has been over 3 months since Daniel Robinson went missing. This is the area in Buckeye where his vehicle was found. This is remote. The terrain is extremely treacherous, and his family now wonders whether Daniel was really in that vehicle when it crashed here.
I have faith, and I really believe I'm going to have my son back alive.
David Robinson is on the biggest mission of his life. After serving 2 tours in the deserts of Afghanistan, the Army vet has no plans to leave the deserts of Arizona until he finds his 24-year-old son, Daniel.
Treat it like a mission. I keep saying it. I'm a professional soldier. I do my job and find my son. He's my son, I'm his father, and it's my job.
The job has been filled with frustration. Daniel is a geologist who works for a company analyzing sediments in the area for a well. He was last seen leaving the worksite in Buckeye on the morning of June 23rd. A month later, a rancher found Robinson's Jeep crashed in a ravine. His keys, wallet, and phone were in the SUV, but there was no sign of him.
And I think the first thing he would have done if he was in that vehicle is at least carry his phone with him. I couldn't imagine someone 24 years old won't be attached to his phone.
I'm leaning more towards, I don't think Daniel was in that vehicle.
The private investigator working with the Robinson family suspects foul play is involved. He says there are too many unanswered questions raised by data recovered from the vehicle.
The vehicle had 11 additional miles on it from the time the airbags deployed. It had 46 additional ignition cycles on it after the airbags deployed.
Jeff McGrath also notes red paint transfer on the right side of the Jeep.
The vehicle was tipped over on the passenger side, so there's no red paint in this area. So how that got there, that's why I'm saying that vehicle did not crash here. That vehicle was, its last place of rest was here, but something was going on with that vehicle.
The Buckeye Police Department refused an interview request, but provided its report in which coworkers said Daniel made odd comments about needing rest before he left the job site that morning. His father describes Daniel as always friendly and well-adjusted since his birth without a right hand.
He don't wear prosthetics, you know he was born without a hand, and he don't wear prosthetics. His mom tried to get him to wear it. No, Mom, I want to, be who I am. And that's just Daniel. He was living his dream. He became interested in geology when his first year in college, his freshman year. He took a class, and that just set it off,
Just like the Gabby Petito case, internet sleuths are also at work on this one.
Just seeing the way the car was, the Jeep was, and the evidence, to me, it actually does support foul play.
Brian Watts hosts a mystery and adventure show on YouTube. A recent episode featured Daniel's disappearance.
After I then got lots of comments from people in and around that area that said, yeah, there's crime, carjackings that happen all the time, and it's bad. It's something that they're aware of.
The search for Daniel forges on, and this man on a mission will remain in Arizona until there are answers.
I don't know what to think anymore. Just going to keep watching and keep on searching.
Desert himself to find his missing son. It's been almost 4 months since Daniel Robinson, a 24-year-old geologist, mysteriously vanished from a remote work site in the desert of Buckeye, Arizona. Then, nearly a month after he disappeared, his Jeep was found rolled over in a ravine with most of his belongings nearby, right? But no signs of him. Dr. Oz Show's senior investigative correspondent Marsky Abacampo has the latest on this case and this father's mission to find his missing son.
June 23rd, approximately 9:15 a.m., 24-year-old Daniel Robinson was last seen at a remote work site in Buckeye, Arizona, around 40 miles southwest of Phoenix. Then he drove off in his Jeep and disappeared into the desert. His father, David, reported him missing late that night. He said he requested a helicopter search of the area the next day, but it was initially denied. Then David drove more than 2,000 miles from his South Carolina home to Arizona to help find his son.
Very hard on the family. We're up day and night, making phone calls, making flyers, doing everything we can to try to find my son.
According to police reports, the first search inside Daniel's home occurred nearly 2 weeks after he went missing. Authorities reportedly executed several ground and aerial searches of the area, but Daniel's overturned Jeep was found almost a month later, just 4 miles away from his work site. Police did not suspect foul play, but a private investigator hired by David claimed the crash site looked staged. Almost 3 months after disappearing, Daniel's case finally began to gain national attention. A September 19th tweet that went viral reminded the public that he was still missing in the wake of finding Gabby Petito's remains. And on September 26th, Daniel's family held their own press conference. To date, David has led hundreds of volunteers in multiple searches throughout the desert. Daniel remains missing, but his family continues to hope for his safe return.
Mara joins us now. Folks, there are so many puzzling details in this case. Let's start with what we do know. What happened the last time that Daniel was seen, that last day?
Yeah, so Daniel, who works as a geologist, was last seen at a work site in a remote area of the Arizona desert. Now, according to the police report, he was working with a new coworker that day, someone he'd never worked with before. And this person told police that he did seem to be acting strangely and that he then left the work site just 15 minutes after arriving to work that morning, saying that he got in his Jeep, he waved goodbye, and then he drove further into the desert.
What do we know about that car that was found months later?
Yeah, so about a month after Daniel went missing, police were informed that a rancher found his Jeep about 4 miles southwest of that job site where he was last seen. They say that it was found in a ravine, that it had flipped on its side, it suffered extreme damage, and that even the airbags were deployed, and that nearby were a number of Daniel's belongings, including clothing, his keys, his wallet, and his cell phone, all the things that someone would need.
So we know Daniel's father has taken matters into his own hands after expressing that the police haven't been doing enough. I mean, most parents are probably upset if something bad happens to their kids. What has he found so far?
Yeah, he has been so devoted. He has personally searched that desert almost every day since his son went missing. He has also organized and led search parties with hundreds of volunteers, painstakingly combing the desert section by section with the help of cadaver dogs and drones. And the search was fruitful, not in his search for Daniel, but they did uncover a human skull, which led them to question how thorough could these previous police searches have been. Now, that skull, it's been confirmed, does not belong to Daniel.
All right, I want to bring in Daniel's father, David. David joins us now from Buckeye, Arizona, where his son was last seen. I know this is a difficult time for you, sir, and for your family, and we want to do everything we can to bring attention to your son's case. If you could just tell us a little bit about Daniel. What kind of person is your son?
Thank you, Dr. House, for bringing me on. I appreciate that. Daniel, he's a young geologist, as everybody knows. Ever since his childhood, Daniel strived to be and do everything that he desired to do. For instance, ever since he was a little kid, he challenges his siblings on everything, whether it's academically, whether it's down to playing video games. As you know, Daniel was born with one hand. He's missing his right hand, but he never let that stop him from anything that he wanted to do. He grew up wanted to play instruments. He played the French horn, he played the trombone, he played the trumpet. When he got into college, he decided to be a geologist. He went after it, and he graduated with honors.
So you got a wonderful kid, he's a geologist, he's where he wants to be in the outdoors, and then he goes missing. You immediately report this reality. What was the first indication that something may have been wrong?
Well, the first indication, I was in Columbia, South Carolina, of course, at home. Get a call from my daughter. She also lived in Phoenix, telling me that the coworker came to the house searching for Daniel, looking for Daniel. And, at first, of course, we go through this normal protocol with, just making phone calls and make sure he answers his phone, which he didn't. Try to check with his friends, check his apartment. But it became apparent to me after so many hours, I look at the time difference, is roughly 9 o'clock at night here in Arizona. And that's very problematic for me because Daniel would never go over 6 hours or even less to notify his family or siblings or someone, myself, that, he's traveling, have travel plans or decided to go anywhere.
So let me shift to what's really concerning me a lot about that. And you expressed this concern of a lack of urgency from the police in those first few days after you reported Daniel missing. I'm concerned about this because I'm seeing similar patterns in other types of missing kids and adults. So tell us about what went down and what you didn't like.
Well, what initially caused me to pack my car up, everything I have, and just go on the spur of the moment and make sure I've made it here to Arizona, is the fact that, I found out my son was missing. It was at night, apparently. They told me they had to wait till the next morning to send a helicopter out. But when the morning came, they decided to cut the helicopter's flight, saying it wasn't authorized because my son is a grown man. As soon as that happened, I knew for a fact that I had to do what I had to do. I had to go. I'm his father, and I'm responsible. He's my son. And, if anybody go look for him immediately and treat it urgently, it's going to be me. So I decided to leave and come here to Arizona. I've been here since, searching for my son.
All right, up next, David is breaking down the shocking evidence found at his son's car and why he suspects foul play after his own private investigator joined the case. We're back with the father of 24-year-old Daniel Robinson, who was last seen leaving a remote work site in Buckeye, Arizona on June 23rd. Now, almost a month after he mysteriously vanished, his Jeep was found rolled over in a 20-foot ravine with his clothes, cell phone, wallet, and keys. But police say they have ruled out foul play. Now, David, you say you've uncovered evidence from your son's car that suggests otherwise. What have you found?
Yes. Well, I had to hire my private investigator. And the only reason why I have, because of the initial things I heard from the police department, my son's clothing was outside the vehicle. His cell phone was found in the vehicle. A lot of things were suspicious to me as a father. Of course, I needed to have a second opinion, got my investigator. He found that the vehicle has been driven from the first initial crash with the airbags, 11 additional miles. Also, that the vehicle didn't roll totally over, but it was on the side. Also, just the whole thing of the forensic work wasn't done at the scene at the time. Plus the fact that my son is attached to his cell phone, and for anything, I know he wouldn't leave his cell phone behind.
David, what do you think police should have done differently in your son's case?
A lot of families go through the same thing like myself. They'll have that urgency, especially people of color. We don't get out that kind of urgency that we need, that 24 to 48 hour urgency. When the family goes missing like that, I think there should be something done quickly. And I haven't gotten that. I haven't got the sense of it's important that my son went missing. I don't see the agencies there to assist and things like that. I think everything should have been done. A lot more should have been done.
So while Daniel's case has now dominated headlines across the country, and this is again months after this, the heart-wrenching case of Gabby Petito got us all interested in this whole saga of people disappearing in the wilderness. A lot of that led to renewed interest in David and your son's disappearance. But to the point you mentioned earlier, Petito's case also highlights disparities in how the media covers missing persons, right? Especially involving people of color. According to the FBI's National Crime Information Center, people of color make up a disproportionate share of active missing persons cases. So while we've talked about disparities across a whole wide range of issues, but I didn't expect it to be so prevalent in something like this.
Yeah.
A kid's gone missing. Do you care or not? I mean, I think you should, right? So missing white women's syndrome, what is that and why does it pertain to Daniel's case?
Yeah, so missing white women's syndrome refers to the disproportionate amount of coverage that missing white women get and the lack of representation that missing women of color get when they go missing. So Black, brown, and indigenous women go missing at higher rates than white women, but they get almost none of the media attention. So this applies to Daniel's case because Daniel's case was completely ignored until Gabby Petito went missing, shedding light on this issue. And let's be clear about something. Media attention leads to more resources. The more attention the media pays to a case, the more attention the public and law enforcement will pay to it.
So, David, we're going to ask you this question directly. We're taking it because this is your specialty area.
David, what do you believe needs to happen to fix this?
Well, like I said before, there definitely need to be more urgency. And definitely there should be the same urgency that we see in the Petito case, for instance. That should just be a template of everything that should be done in every case, not just one.
So what's your message to Daniel right now? If he's watching on a TV somewhere, and hopefully he is.
Well, I'm doing everything I can to find my son. I'm not giving up. I'm gonna make sure everything I can do in my power. That's why I'm here. I need all the support I can get from the community at large. I've been here since June 26th. And I'm relying on everybody and everyone to come in and help. We have searches on every Saturday. I have a petition out there, and also I have a GoFundMe to keep me here.
My name is Daniel Robinson. I attend AC Flora, and I'm planning to major in geology at College of Charleston.
Good job.
Okay. Daniel Robinson went missing 4 months ago. This is the last photo his family has of him. He's a 24-year-old geologist, last seen leaving his job site in Buckeye, Arizona.
As the Gabby Petito homicide case garners national attention, another young person has been missing for nearly 3 months, and his family is desperate to find him. 24-year-old Daniel Robinson, a geologist, was last seen on the morning of June 23rd, leaving his work site in the desert of Buckeye, Arizona.
David Robinson had only one thought on his mind as he drove the nearly 1,800 miles from his South Carolina home to Phoenix.
I had to find my son. And I'm currently searching for him. Thank you, everybody, for coming in on this. Uh-oh.
these families and bringing you their stories. And we begin tonight with Daniel Robinson, a 24-year-old geologist living and working in Buckeye, Arizona. It is one of the westernmost suburbs of Phoenix. It's a low-lying desert valley, a resort spot that has quickly grown into a full-scale city. And it is where Daniel set off on a start for a job that he loved. He left work in Buckeye June 23rd. He has not been seen or heard from since. Puzzling clues, a crash scene that raises a lot of questions is what we know tonight. News Nation correspondent Nancy Liu is live in Buckeye for us, where she spent some time with Daniel's father. Nancy.
Marnie, it has been over 3 months since Daniel Robinson went missing. This is the area in Buckeye where his vehicle was found. This is remote. The terrain is extremely treacherous, and his family now wonders whether Daniel was really in that vehicle when it crashed here.
I have faith, and I really believe I'll have my son back alive.
David Robinson is on the biggest mission of his life. After serving 2 tours in the deserts of Afghanistan, the Army vet has no plans to leave the deserts of Arizona until he finds his 24-year-old son, Daniel.
Treat it like a mission. I keep saying it. I'm a professional soldier. I do my job and find my son. He's my son, I'm his father, and it's my job.
The job has been filled with frustration. Daniel is a geologist who works for a company analyzing sediments in the area for a well. He was last seen leaving the worksite in Buckeye on the morning of June 23rd. A month later, a rancher found Robinson's Jeep crashed in a ravine. His keys, wallet, and phone were in the SUV, but there was no sign of him.
And I think the first thing he would have done if he was in that vehicle is at least carry his phone with him. I couldn't imagine someone 24 years old won't be attached to his phone.
I'm leaning more towards, I don't think Daniel was in that vehicle.
The private investigator working with the Robinson family suspects foul play is involved. He says there are too many unanswered questions raised by data recovered from the vehicle.
The vehicle had 11 additional miles on it from the time the airbags deployed. It had 46 additional ignition cycles on it after the airbags deployed.
Jeff McGrath also notes red paint transfer on the right side of the Jeep.
The vehicle was tipped over on the passenger side, so there's no red paint in this area. So how that got there, that's why I'm saying that vehicle did not crash here. That vehicle was, its last place of rest was here, but something was going on with that vehicle.
The Buckeye Police Department refused an interview request, but provided its report in which coworkers said Daniel made odd comments about needing rest before he left the job site that morning. His father describes Daniel as always friendly and well-adjusted since his birth without a right hand.
He don't wear prosthetics, you know he was born without a hand, and he don't wear prosthetics. His mom tried to get him to wear it. No, Mom, I want to, be who I am. And that's just Daniel. He was living his dream. He became interested in geology when his first year in college, his freshman year. He took a class, and that just set it off,
Just like the Gabby Petito case, internet sleuths are also at work on this one.
Just seeing the way the car was, the Jeep was, and the evidence, to me, it actually does support foul play.
Brian Watts hosts a mystery and adventure show on YouTube. A recent episode featured Daniel's disappearance.
After I then got lots of comments from people in and around that area that said, yeah, there's crime, carjackings that happen all the time, and it's bad. It's something that they're aware of.
The search for Daniel forges on, and this man on a mission will remain in Arizona until there are answers.
I don't know what to think anymore. Just going to keep watching and keep on searching.
My name is Daniel Robinson. I attend AC Flora, and I'm planning to major in geology at College of Charleston.
Good job.
Daniel Robinson went missing 4 months ago. This is the last photo his family has of him. He's a 24-year-old geologist, last seen leaving his job site in Buckeye, Arizona.
As the Gabby Petito homicide case garners national attention, another young person has been missing for nearly 3 months, and his family is desperate to find him. 24-year-old Daniel Robinson, a geologist, was last seen on the morning of June 23rd, leaving his work site in the desert of Buckeye, Arizona.
David Robinson had only one thought on his mind as he drove the nearly 1,800 miles from his South Carolina home to Phoenix.
I had to find my son. And I'm still searching for him. Thank you all for coming out to this morning Q&A. I'm David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Cornelius Robinson. My son went missing on June the 23rd, 2021. He has came up here to Arizona to be with his degree in geology. He started off with a company called Matrix New World. It's also called Matrix Southwest Groundwater, where my son, like I said, was doing his job as a geologist, but he was hired on as a field geologist, also called a hydrogeologist. On June 23rd, like I said, he was whipped out to the second well site out there in the desert of Buckeye, Arizona. He was accompanied by one other person from a company called Weber. At that company, that's the company that actually drills the wells out there. He met the guy on Sun Valley Parkway, where they both went into that well site. After a 10-minute conversation or so, my son was reportedly by that one person, said that he waved off to him, got in his vehicle, drove off, where it's never seen again. Again, I'm here to do a Q&A. I want to apologize for you guys on this morning. Had some really bad technical difficulty, and that technical difficulty came from the Dr. Oz video clip that I added into the show. That video is something I had in my arsenal. It was something that interview I've done last year on the Dr. Oz show. Sometimes the algorithms and things like that pick up those channels, pick up those videos, and they put a restriction there. That's one thing I'm still learning about this YouTube thing, is they'll put their restriction there. I did get a restriction banner on there. That kind of threw the whole StreamYard off, the platform that I'm using to do the Q&As. But I had to go back later and do what I always do, dispute it, and go ahead and tell them I do have the express written consent or the express consent to utilize all the videos that I do use. I did a lot of interviews. These producers, they send me, they don't want to give me the clips from Red Table Talk to you name it. They don't want to give me the clips to be able to use on all my social media platforms, and also to get to use it on my website. Sometimes, like I said, it gets missed, and the system, the algorithm pick that up and then kick it back out. So apologize for you all that I told. I'm sure I have a low turnout right now because I did put a banner up there saying that I would be picking it up on Monday, but I decided to go ahead and give it one shot. I did see a question on here before everything went down that I wanted to get to. So I want to get to it. Once I get these questions out of the way, this might be a short Q&A, but I just want to make sure that I do continue on this Q&A until my time is up. Like I said, I almost wasted almost an hour of that Q&A time. Again, my name is Dave Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson, who went missing on June the 23rd. I want to. I think most people probably not here, but I'm going to call your names out anyway. Thank you, for coming out here to be a part of Q&A. Everybody's very special to me. I really appreciate you taking your time just to be here. So, thank you so much for being here. Also, thank you, Doohickey, for being here. If I say your name correct, much respect. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Much respect to you too. Thank you for coming out on the YouTube channel there to be a part of this Q&A. Thank you also, ex-Navy Girl 81, for being here this morning. I really appreciate it. You know, you may not, if I call your names and you're not here, I apologize. I did send that banner, putting it out for Monday. But, you know, definitely I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and then we'll come back again on Monday for the Monday Q&A. But thank you so much for being here, ex-Navy Girl 81. I appreciate it, D-Love, you coming out this morning. I really appreciate the Super Cooper for coming out this morning. I did have a question. I'll see if I can find that one question. I know what the question was. I don't see it on here again. I was kind of looking back for it. But the question was dealing with the airbags. So if I can find that question again, I will pull it up. And I apologize to the young lady who put the question up there. And for some reason I can't find it. Like I said, with the technical difficulty, that did change a lot of stuff right now. I'm still working on just go ahead and finish this Q&A this morning. Okay, thank you, Shauna, for being here, being a part of the Q&A, being a part of the team, and helping with everything you do with the foundation. I really appreciate your hard work and everything you're doing in the background. Also, let's see who I got. Super Cooper, thank you for being here this morning, being a part of this Q&A. Still coming out here to support. I need all the support I can get. I really appreciate you coming out. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lisa, for being here this morning. You know, and I really appreciate the kind of words you're speaking. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your prayers. The prayers are very important. So thank you, Lisa, for coming out from Facebook and being a part. Also, thank you, Stacy Thomas from Facebook. Thank you for being here this morning. I really appreciate your time coming out to the Q&As this morning. I really appreciate that. So you guys, like I say, I had some technical difficulties for those who may be still trying to come in after the fact. Probably still peeked and see, hey, what's going on with that channel? And I came back. I really appreciate you coming back and joining in on the Q&A. Like I said, I had some technical difficulties. That was only based on the Dr. Oz video that I put into the show. That was a restricted banner came up. That often happens when I put certain videos I play on social media. That happened because the algorithm, I'm sure, grab it. They don't know that I have the express written consent and things like that to use those videos. So what happens is I have to always go back and put that in on the dispute. Once I put information there on the dispute, then I can constantly play these videos. So with the Dr. Oz, I have to do the same thing. Go back and make sure they stop putting the restriction there when I play it. So thank you again, Shauna, for being here, being part of the moderator, being here to help out. Shiro's Nation, thanks so much. And I really still appreciate your questioning. Yeah, I gave that great question. So thank you for being here. That question changed a lot for some of the thinking that we had going on here in search of my son. So I really appreciate it. That's why I love questions. That's why I love the Q&A. Q&A helps out a whole lot. Everybody have a thought. Everybody have thoughts. I can't think of everything. My team can't think of everything, but you guys have things you can share. So thank you, Shiro's Nation, again. Probably like I said, you guys that came back, I really appreciate it. I decided to go ahead and push this Q&A. This is something that I want to do for you all, and I like doing is talking, engaging with everybody. So really thank you for taking your time out. It doesn't even come back, to watch the Q&A in the first place. So I really appreciate that. And, I did say that I would do it on Monday, but like I said, I thought about it again. No, I'm going ahead and push it. So we went ahead and restarted the StreamYard, and that did the trick. So that got me back on. So if you guys have any questions, please put the question mark there. I know that she was nation. You don't have the question, but you have those questions. Put those big question marks there, just like what D Love did there, or you could put a big red question mark or the word question there, or whatever the case may be. You know, saying to let me know that you have a question, and I will get to those questions. So thank you so much for that. Let me see who else I got here. Michelle, thank you for being here this morning. Good morning to you. Also, good morning, Esther. Thank you so much for being here. Forever Curious. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you keep coming out. Sassy, Rare Breed. Thank you for being here. Yes, I did get a copyright violation, but I will be straightening it out once I finish the StreamYard. Like I said, that happened before. I have to dispute it and get them to take that restriction off of the copyright restriction off of there, because I do have the rights and the ability to play every video that I play. So you guys, it happened to me a lot. Usually it happened to me on the playback. They would do it on the playback, and then I just dispute it, give them the information they need, and then that's why you can see me still constantly play some of the videos I play over and over again. Because I do have those written consents. The Dr. Oz, I had a written consent. It's just that the algorithm didn't pick it up this morning. It probably wasn't in the system or whatever the case may be. But I will take care of that later on. So thank you guys for coming back in. Like I said, I'm not a person that like to give up on anything. So, I thought about it again once I put the banner up there that I will be finish this Q&A on Monday. I decided to come back and try to get it going. So, we get to these questions. Y'all have questions, please give me these questions if you have them. I did have one about the airbag. I can't remember who the lady was. The person was one of the first persons that came here this morning. I wanted to get to that question, but I do know what the question is, and I go ahead and answer that. I was trying to look for it as I come down the comment section. I want to mention too, if you have any questions, please put the word question there first, followed by your question or a big question mark, or even a big letter Q if you have to, just to show me where your questions are. And as I'm coming down the comment section, I can go ahead and answer those questions. But the question was that I can't find the person. She can come back again and ask the same question. Then it'll jog my memory who you are. The question was about the airbags in the vehicle. And what's anybody else in the airbag in the car, because the airbags, all the airbags are deployed. I think the question was, I can't remember exactly the question, but I know it had something dealing with airbags, so I'll talk about that. All the airbags are deployed in the vehicle. I had two different things I heard is that most people think that, of course, the passenger airbag, for instance, won't deploy if somebody's will deploy if somebody's sitting there over so many pounds. And if there's nobody sitting there and it's under so many pounds, because they really try to compensate that for like little children, because airbags can kill kids, the airbag wouldn't deploy. And so people ask the question, why is all the airbags deployed? I did get an answer from that from my former investigator, accident reconstructionist, Mr. McGrath. He said that particular vehicle, which I'm going to check into it again. I have to double check things. I'm not saying he's wrong. I think he's a very competent investigator when it comes to accident reconstruction. He knows what he's talking about. He's very thorough, things like that. So, but me, I'm personally as the way I am. I do my due diligence on everything. Just to have my own thought or my own independent investigation part of it. So I will be looking further into that. But the what I was told, that the airbags on that vehicle didn't have that type of sensor in the seating where it was determined to deploy, and not based on if anybody's sitting in that seat. So that's the answer to that question. I don't know if that was answering that question, but I know it had something to do in terms of the airbags. But yes, all the airbags in that vehicle was deployed. The side curtains on the airbags deployed. So and I want to mention this too. The airbags deployed before it went to the ravine. That's what given to by my investigator. That's what indicate that that accident didn't happen there. Now that vehicle did go down the ravine. It's either been pushed down there, rolled down there, or driven down there. I don't know. But that the initial crash and all the other crashes from that vehicle didn't happen in that ravine. So something happened way before it got to that ravine. Also, like I said, the airbags, all of them has been deployed, and so, and as in for a rollover, at the place where I have my, it's a facility, but I've seen rollover crashes before. I've seen rollover crashes, and I can't tell you guys, if that vehicle would have totally rolled over, the roof, the weight of the vehicle would have crushed that roof line. It would have been coming down, coming down on one or all the sides. So that's what a real rollover look like. The Buckeye Police Department should know that, but they have it in their report. They told me, me personally as a father, they said, "Hey, look, the vehicle came down." He first said, "Hey, we see it, we feel the vehicle came down, hit the bed, it flipped, and it was coming down, flipping and rolling, and it flipped forward over to the side and flipped this way, back this way, and landed." He just gave me this really devastating thought in my head about how that vehicle ended up down in that ravine, came down that ravine. So just hearing all that flipping and things like that, I was really thinking that, my son was really badly hurt or even killed. But he said, "Hey, hey, we didn't find any blood in the vehicle. The good part is there's no blood in the vehicle. Your son had a seatbelt on, because we know that because of the way the seatbelts a lot whenever you get an accident and all that kind of stuff like that." So, so the airbags were deployed. Every airbag in that vehicle was deployed. So I do want to put that out there. Also, Super Cooper, again, thank you for being here. I think I already said it before, but thank you, Esther, for being here. Thank you, Barry. And I really appreciate it for everything you do, of course, for the foundation to just being here, period, helping out, some part of the team. And, yes, I did have those issues. I know you guys, and some people I see coming in again. Yes, I had those technical difficulties. I'm repeating this, but that was because of the Dr. Oz clip that I decided to put in this morning. I should have just played the clip on Facebook like I normally do, Facebook first, and on YouTube and things like that. So when the violation sticker comes up, all I had to do is dispute it and put in information that let them know that I do have the rights and things like that too. This video was given to me by the producers and things like that. So to be able to put it on my social media to bring awareness to my son's case. That's why you guys see a lot of these same videos all the time. Those are ones I do have plenty more. Where I do have anything from News Nation, anything from the Red Table Talk to Dr. Oz to you name it. I also make sure when I do interviews for them to send me the link to be able to use on my social media and also on my website. So that's why you see them guys, sometimes the algorithm just don't pick that up. I don't know if it's a system. They had to put my name in there some type of way. I don't know. But normally when that happened, all I had to do is do a dispute and then write in the information, who gave it to me, that type deal. And then that's it. And then I can play it all I want to. So I will be working on that, Dr. Oz, so I can play it on Monday morning. I did like the clip there. And the clip would kind of explain some other things, the way I was thinking and feeling at the time. What I rather want to do is try to put a whole bunch of clips together to kind of highlight, the growth of this whole operation to try to find my son. That may help some other family how to start off their journey if they don't have the help from law enforcement. Sometimes other families go through the same thing. I just hear them say the same thing. I mean, the crazy part is it don't matter the color. A lot of people from different nationalities come to me and say they have some issues with law enforcement. So sometimes this thing with the way police missing people that's why we probably have so many missing people here in the United States because of the way law enforcement engage missing people reports. And so that's the reason why I'm an advocate for that. That's the reason why I have the petition for you guys to sign. Those things right there means a whole lot to help other families. So that's the reason why I want the foundation. It is a whole lot. And this thing is way bigger than me and my family. Much as hurt as I am every day, saying out here look for my son, doing this right here. This is not easy. I don't like being in front of a camera, but I had to do this for my son. I'm not just doing it just for my son, for everybody else, and for my drive now that I have grown to have, just hearing other people's story. I couldn't even be human to hear these stories and don't feel like I want to do something about it. So you guys, it's very difficult to hear other families' story. I grieve for them. I know how that feels, but it's very difficult for everybody, not just our family. So I always keep them in mind and keep other people in mind. So I think I already had this do Hickey again. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Again, Forever Curious, thank you. Also, thank you, Rod, the creator. I thank you for all the stuff you do in the background. Also, Thank you, Mr. Short, for being here. And Mr. Short, yes, I didn't have it on schedule for you to be here this Friday. I should have put that. We didn't have a search this Friday, and I have some upcoming news about the ongoing searches that we'll be reflecting on the website, pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. So you guys, and it's strolling on the bottom of the screen. If you guys jump onto that, you can see that I will be having some information about that. And also, you, Mr. Short, will be I'll be contact you again about those. You already know about those possible changes and things like that, but we will be talking about how those changes will be implemented. So and thank you all for everything you do. Thank you, Shauna, again for being here. Yeah, if you have any questions, and I really appreciate it, Shauna, putting that out. Please put the big question there. The big or red question mark or a big letter Q, something that indicate, hey, I have a question, and that way I can, as I'm coming down the comment section, thanking everybody for being here, I'm actually see it. So thank you, and thank you, Shauna, again. I saw the all the standbys, and thank you for your patience and things like that. That's really helpful. I wish I would have been able to see this stuff. I would have told y'all, you guys, I'll try again. But, I put a banner up there saying I would try this again on Monday. But then after a while, like I said, I'm not a person that like to give up on things. I was trying to figure out how to get this channel back up when it went down because of that violation sticker. So I was able to. All I do was just log back out and log back in. It kept this while I was logging back in. The live was still going, so I was able to finally get my camera up. I couldn't get the camera up and get back on. But what I want to do is, without wasting too much time, because I do have a lot to do. I have meetings today, and I don't want to, saying, thank you again, Shauna, for putting that up there. I did change for money, but here I am. Here I am again. Here I am. Decided to go ahead and stay on. So. But yeah, I do have some things to do today, but I'm going to sit here, try to go through a couple of clips that I have. No violation stickers on those, but there's some clips I have I wanted to put while I'm talking. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and roll that out. And while I'm talking, I'm going to go ahead and put this clip there. What I'm doing is just video of the well. As this thing going down, I'll be going ahead and continue what I'm doing. But what this is the video of the well. I had both videos for both wells that I have searched up there. The other ones that Daniel was supposedly being last seen, that well was cleaner. It was clearer than this well here. Didn't have any debris in it. It was went straight down. There was nothing there. So that was thoroughly checked, and there was no reason to believe anything or anybody's down in that well. This one right here is a well that's north of where Daniel supposedly had been missing. That's the same well that when I did the drive-through, so I'm going to gonna come next, is when I had the suspicion by the 2 miles. So they say, hey, you go out 1 mile. This is from the worker that was there. They say, hey, you have to go 1 mile down the road, then you have to go another 2 miles north. And it's plausible to say the 2 miles will be this well right here, not the one that Daniel was reportedly last seen. So I just wanted to make sure these guys didn't get the wells confused or mixed up. But I will have that verified again. But like I said, this well right here, and the reason why I keep showing this clip is because it's suspicious, a very suspicious well. You guys can see how clean it is as it's starting to go down right here. 60, you see those numbers there that's ticking. That's 68, 69, 70, 71, 72. That's the feet. It's going down. As it's going down, it's counting how many feet is going down into this well. And once it gets to a certain point, I think it's like 100 and some feet, you're going to come to the water level, probably a little farther than that, but 200 feet or so, you'll come to the water level. Once you come to the water level, you'll see all the debris and things like that. And I'll start explaining those things as I'm, thanking you all for coming in. So I'll stop from time to time and talk about those things, about this well again, so you guys can see it. And then I will talk about what I saw at the bottom. That's really questionable right now, and I'm still working on have somebody professional look at that. There was some talk about some things we'll do with this well also. All right, again, thank you, Sophia, for being here this morning, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being part of the team, helping with the foundation, even outside your own business. I really appreciate it. You're doing everything you can in the chats and things like that. So I really appreciate helping out. She Rose Nation again. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you again for the sticking in here every morning, coming out to this Q&As. I really appreciate it. OG Jitterbug, thank you for being here. It's Friday. Yes, so we did have some technical difficulties, and again, that was because of the Dr. Oz clip that I decided to put in. Some reason, okay, we're coming up to this water level. You see it there, about 164, 65 feet. That's the water level. All right, once you come from the ground level, all the way down 167 feet, somewhere roughly around there, that's where the water level begins. Now you can see already that's a whole bunch of debris that's stuck. That big pipe, that's a big pipe. A very huge pipe. Looks kind of small with the camera, of course, but it's a big pipe that somebody stuck down in there. And on the sides, you'll see the reason why this pipe didn't go straight down that well. What you would find is they first put some other stuff down the bottom, but we're going to talk about the pipe. The pipe got stopped because of a wood structure. They also threw down in there and it got enlarged. So I guess they took that pipe to try to knock that down farther. And but it got enlarged, like I said, and it kept the pipe up in the air like that. So you'll see. We're trying to get around that pipe right now, trying to figure out how you're gonna get around the obstruction to get down into this well, farther down to the bottom. So the ultimate way he did that was to go down the center of that pipe and then come out through the other side. So because of the way the angle, once you go down the sides, you're gonna realize that's where you're gonna see the wood structure that's actually holding that pipe up. So right now he's trying to go in the center pipe, but he didn't want to go there. He wanted to go down the sides of that pipe to go around that pipe. And but once you get down the sides, like I said, that wood structure is there, and so he had to come back. So go again, Jitterbug. Yeah, I did have the freeze up and also the knocking off of the Q&A because of that Dr. Oz clip that I decided to put in. But you know what? I'm back, and we will take care of that thing later on. We'll take care of that, and we'll take care of that once we get off this Q&A. I'll go ahead and put in a rebuttal against that restriction, and then that'll get fit. So thank you, D-Love, for being here. Also, thank you, Jacinta Button. Thank you for being here. And I really appreciate you coming out here from Facebook. Also, thank you, Stephanie Savoy. Thank you for being here. If I say your name incorrect, I apologize. But thank you for being here this morning. And thank you for your prayers. I need all the prayers I can, and I need all the positive energy. I really, really appreciate that. We definitely need that. You guys, I mentioned this earlier. I am dealing with a death in the family. We are dealing with that in my family. So I was asking you guys if you can continue to pray for me and my family. On that behalf also, I have a cousins and my uncle lost his wife and my auntie and the whole family. Our whole family is having that hard loss. And we didn't have anything that happened for years. Just recent to have those in the family. So just dealing with those type deals. So thank you so much for your prayers and everything like that. So I appreciate it. For your prayers and your constant love. All right, so thank you, Just a Soul Sister. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for coming back to the Q&A this morning. Yes, you know how I am. I'm not going to give up on anything. So you've been knowing me for years, and you know how I am. So thank you for being here. Also, thank you, Evan, again, for being here. Once again, all right, don't quit. You're right about that. I'm not going to quit. Let's go ahead. I couldn't just settle. Say, okay, well, I'll just do this on Monday. I'm just going to go ahead and run through this Q&A. We're going to have it done. And then Monday, we'll start with something different. But this, again, this is the well. If you see this thing jumping around, he just trying, right now it was just dangling. And we're up there trying to readjust the angle. The camera going to go down into that well. So he had to kind of pull it back out of there and then go back down again because we want to pull it closer to the sides where it can go down the side of that pipe that was down there. But yeah, you'll see once we get down there. I'm going to be talking about this clip, this video. I may even fast forward a little bit just to get down because it's very deep. And probably once I get finished this introduction of thanking you all for being here, I may just go ahead and fast forward and talk about what I've seen on the bottom, the destruction and things like that. and then we'll just go to the next thing. So thank you again for being here on this Q&A. I'm David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson. My son went missing on June 23rd out there in the desert of Buckeye, doing his job. He went out there to check the viability of the wells that he does. That's what he do. He's a hydrogeologist hired on by a company called Matrix New World. Like I said, hired on as a hydrogeologist. They also call him a field geologist. He's out there in that desert. And what he does, like I say, check the viability of the wells to make sure that communities, when y'all go out there and you buy your new house, a new community, you got a house. Here in Arizona, most communities are by law have to have these wells drilled, and those wells have to produce at least 100 years of water. And his expertise as a scientist can determine that. That's what he does for the community. So a lot of communities out there right now is because of people like Daniel, these geologists that go out there that make sure that you have enough drinking water for the property that you're paying your money for. And so it's very, very crucial. His job is very crucial, very needed. And that's what he does. He takes his job seriously. He's a very responsible young man, very intelligent, highly intelligent. My son, to prove that, my son, when he first came out here, he's decided he's got his job. But like I said, he wanted to start off responsible. He just went ahead and got him a little, I call it a hoopty, a little car that he had to fix all the time. But the good part is that he had a father like myself. He had me as his father to teach him how to fix vehicles. Him and his brother, even his sister. So he can go up there and do whatever he need to do to fix that vehicle himself as he needed to. And so he had kept that vehicle going for a good while. He got his money and started getting paid. He get his money, and then he bought himself that Jeep Renegade, which is his first vehicle. First new vehicle for him. And he's very proud of that vehicle. So, but that was his responsibility for himself as a grown man. He bought his first vehicle, and he was very happy about that, showing his manhood, taking care of himself. He's been working hard for Matrix and taking care of himself. So, like I said, very responsible. We're back here at 167, 68 feet before we hit the water level. So I'll be talking about those kind of things as that video thing goes. So. But the whole point is my son is a geologist, like I said, and he's just really, really, really enjoyed doing his job, and he takes his job seriously. And just that day, I assumed the same thing. My son not only went to one well site, he went to two well sites that day, and so he wanted to make sure that he do his job properly. And so whatever happened at that well site, we only can go by the story of that one worker that was with him out there in that well, and that's what his narrative is. But again, I got a video that's coming after this one if I have the time, and the narrative just don't match, don't make sense to me. I don't like to call. I'm not calling a person a liar. All I'm saying, to me, it doesn't make sense, and you guys follow along. You'll see the reasons why. Okay, thank you, Kimberly, for being here. If you guys have questions, please put the word question there. And I do see this, and I'm assuming there's a question. And thank you, Kimberly, for being here from YouTube. They say, are there other ways he could have left the desert, or would he have to go back the way early he came in? The way he came in. Well, I don't know what happened. Other ways he left the desert. I just know that his vehicle showed up almost 30 days later, almost 3 miles away from that well site that he went missing from. And I do know that he was with only one person at that well site. And I know that one person said that my son just simply drove off, just waved at him and just drove off and just disappeared. That same person said that he followed tracks some kind of way, and my son went out west and he never was seen again. That type deal. So as in anything else, somebody else possibly coming to the well site, picking him up, and he just left his truck out there or something, or whatever. I don't know. We don't have those indications. Don't have any kind of proof or anything like that happening. But I'm gonna go back to this video real quick here too. You guys, they're just he putting a starlight on so he can see better. But what it is the light just comes straight down in there, so you can see if he can go around the sides of that pipe. Like again, I'm gonna say he gonna be able to do that somewhat, but then it's gonna go to a certain point where he had to pull it back out and then go down through the center. That's because, like I said, there's obstruction there. All that stuff shouldn't be in as well. If I played the other video, that the one that they said Daniel was at, it's very clear. You can go straight on down. There's nothing floating in there. All down to the bottom. It's really clean. From what I was told by this professional, that's the way the well's supposed to be. So when he saw all this destruction there, that's out of the ordinary. That is something that shouldn't be there. He didn't know the reasons why. That's the reason why he's trying to get around it and try to see what's down in there. Why is all of this stuff there? But then once we get down there, you guys will see the reasons why and my suspicions. And I will tell you about my suspicions about it. I planned this with the public. It's something I could have kept and not show it to the public, but I wanted it in the public because it needed to be in the public sphere. Because of that, just to have that reference there. That's one of the reasons why I decided to release the video myself to the public to help you guys know that there's some suspicions about this well and that I'm looking into and the reasons why. So you can have that stain in your memory and things like that. So and they have it, it's well documented. Also have Kimberly, again, thank you for being here this morning. OG Jitterbug, thank you for being here this morning. I really appreciate it coming back in here. And let's see, again, thank you, Evan, for putting that up. Please put that big Q there or a question mark, or whatever the case may be before you, ask the question. That really helps. That really help out a whole lot. So you guys do that. That definitely help out with the me finding you when it come down. And also, don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button because that really helped with the algorithm. You see, this morning I had some problems with the algorithm. Putting a violation on sticker on the video stream, and so thank you. If you can, y'all can do that. Is like, share, and subscribe. That definitely helps. Also, we have a question here from D Love. Mr. Robin has Buckeye Police Department requesting everyone in the report. Far as I know, no. Far as I know, they haven't. I mean, I asked them to. I asked them to with the worker. I think I probably missed that when the thing went down there. Y'all, I don't know if it showed that y'all could see that wood structure, but you would see this wood structure once you go down the center. Now, see, the video kind of clipped. We're going back down again. He cut the film, going back down, but this time we put it dead center, and we're gonna go down through the center of that pipe that is there because he couldn't get around it. So anyway, as in the question there, I have never seen them do a second question of anybody. All I saw them take a report. Hey, look, hey, what you seen? This is what. Tell me your side of the story, Mr. Well guy. Mr. Well worker. Tell me your side of the story, and then they put that in a report. They went to ask the young lady, for instance, tell me your side of the story, and she obviously told him the side of the story. Well, upload your when you get to this, how you can upload your text messages. We need you to upload your text messages in the system, and she was able to do that on her own. So that type of thing. So as in questioning and vetting these things, I do not know, but I know I did. That's why I have a video that's coming up next. If I have the time, is to show a part of that again, that I do vet things. And now when I say vet things, you have to go through the whole scenario. I learned that even hearing from Mr. McGrath in the past, doing the accident reconstruction. He don't just look at a situation and say, hey, this is exactly what happened. He had to drive. Like when he said it wasn't enough distance to get 30-something miles per hour, like Buckeye was saying, for that crash that happened down that ravine. He literally took vehicles. We did this with using all-terrain vehicles, and they much lighter, and they made for that terrain. Couldn't get that speed up there. There wasn't enough space to get that speed up to go 30-some miles per hour to get down a ravine and crash and make the airbags deploy, for instance, right? But Buckeye thinks so. That vehicle is heavy. Can you imagine that big vehicle jumping around, bouncing around? He would have never. His foot would have came out the throttle, all kind of stuff, because we bounce around in those ATV, UTVs. So it's that kind of stuff. When you do due diligence, you actually go. And not only that, he was using. See, if y'all see the obstruction there, that's the obstruction there. He going down the sides again. Of course, he didn't get around. That's on the sides of the pipe. like I said, that structure there is a big old wood structure there. And I wanted to show you guys that. That's a wood structure there that's holding that big pipe in the air, suspended. Somebody threw that down in there, I guess, tried to use that as a cover. But like I said, it went sides on the sides like that. It's enlarged. It's enlarged there. And it kept that pipe from going farther down into that well. I'm sure they wanted that pipe to go all the way down in that well to cover something. That's my opinion. And you guys can see the reason why, and the reason why I wanted to make this public again, because those are my suspicions. Now we're gonna go down the center of that because he couldn't get around. We want to find out what's going on at the bottom of that well, and because of all of this, so he's had to go down the center of that pipe to see where this pipe go all the way down or get to the other side of that pipe. And this is what we're going to find once he got down the other end of it. We're still going down the well itself, but going through the pipe just to get down to the bottom of the well. So, and you can see right there, that's the wood structure from the other side of that pipe and stuff like that. That's some of the debris. I guess when that pipe hit that, some of that wood probably chopped up and came through that pipe and kind of try to float his way back up. But he's going to go down that, keep on going down that pipe. And then when you get to the other end of this pipe here, you'll see the size of the well itself. And so keep going. But I'll keep on talking about these questions. If you guys have questions, keep on, like D-Love did here. Put the word question there first, or you can put a big question mark or letter Q, a big capital letter Q, something like that. That really helped out a lot. Thank you, Gwen, so much for being here and helping out in the comment section. Everything you do in the background for me and my family, and definitely for me. I really love you, and I thank you so much for being here to help out. So please continue to share Daniel's story, the Robinson family. So thank you so much, and I really appreciate it because we do need you guys to share. That's the only way I can get Daniel's information out there. So please continue to do so. Also, OG Jitterbug has a question here. I thank OG Jitterbug for being here this morning. Did you also mention there was also bottled water left in this Jeep? Yes, there was bottled water. Matter of fact, there's 2 cases of water, untouched cases of water. That would suggest that Daniel, they saying that if Daniel was there, he didn't take any water. You know what I'm saying? People say, hey, he probably had to change of clothes. Like I told you guys, you got to ask yourself a lot of questions. Okay, if he had to change the clothes, why he take his underwear and sock off? Just to change clothes. Hey, if I took off again, I want to take my pants off. First of all, you got to think about this. So according to Buckeye, he most likely had a head injury, brain injury, whatever. Make him hot, shred his clothes off. And first of all, he put it in the pile, not throw it off. You anguish, you disorient it, but you also was able to take your clothes off and put it neatly in a pile. I mean, it wasn't neat. When I say neat, it wasn't folded like some people suggest. It wasn't folded, but it was put in the pile. You don't have time to do all of that. You be taking stuff off and be slinging and throwing it all over the place, I'm sure, because your head ain't right. Then if you have that enough sense that with a brain injury or anything to happen, or you didn't have one, you say you have to change your clothes and you say, hey man, it's hot, I need to put these shorts on or those light clothes on. Why you taking socks and underwear off? If I put a pair of shorts on, say, man, it's hot, I'm gonna throw these shorts on real quick, a tank top. I'm not taking my underwear and sock off just to do that, unless you just drenched all the way down. And then what you got, you bring change of underwear and socks with you all the time too. I do not see that happening there. And plus, the second thing is, even with that, if you had that much common sense to do that, because you want to change clothes and bring your stuff, why would you leave your cell phone? While you were digging all that stuff that got thrown around in that vehicle, you was able to find your change of clothes, but you wasn't able to find your cell phone. You know what I'm saying? And your phone was ringing because we was constantly calling it, your phone ringing, and you're not able to find your cell phone, and you just leave it behind. So you got to ask little questions like that. It just don't make sense to me. None of that adds up. Nothing goes together. Again, this camera is going past that, went past that pipe. Now we're going down the sides of this well, and you see all that nastiness that's floating around, all that sediment. A lot of that came in, and the reason why I asked him that, like I said, the other well was very clear. You didn't have that sediments floating around like that. That's dirt on the side of the walls, dirt on the side of what that's collected. It was a large amount of dirt dumped down in that well, and all of that stuff kind of collected down the bottom. So as he's going down there, he's disturbing a whole lot of sediment that was thrown down in that well, right? And you'll see the reasons why. once we get down there real farther, why would a person throw so much debris and dirt and stuff like that down as well? And that's the question that had to be asked. But, this is kind of stuff that a father do who is really looking for his son. This is what happens if you're an investigator and you really care about a case. You really care about what happened to somebody and how they are missing. You do things like this. You know what I'm saying? You do that and you make sense. You write things down and you take these cases seriously. And that's the thing I'm saying with these families, you guys, other families. I'm telling you, there's a lot of families, ain't just this family, go through things like that where they don't take the case. I say this before, and I used to say this all the time, and I really mean it. I could have easily been one of those people that say, living in South Carolina, and my son was missing out here. And of course, I was going to come out here to talk to the police department. Hey, this is what we're doing, blah, blah, so on. Went back home, and I'm calling almost every day. Hey, detective, what y'all got? Y'all find thing? He's sitting back here on the seat, like on the chair, answering the phone. Yeah, I'm out here right now. We doing everything we can to find your son. I mean, they can tell you anything on the phone. They can just say anything. And I'm just not that kind of person because of this. Things like this, you know what I'm saying? Just small things. You just kind of look at it and you could tell the due diligence and the hard work that it takes to, and people ask me, say, hey, why it takes so long in the desert? Why it takes so long to find, I mean, it takes a lot. Some people never find their loved ones. I know, I hope it don't happen to me and my family, but you already know, people know there's cases where people have never found again for years, 20 years, 30 years, forever. It could happen. God forbid if that happen. But you know what? You got to give it your best shot. You got to do everything you can to find your loved one. If something like that happen to you, I'm sure you'll want somebody to come looking for you, So definitely going to look for my son. He's worth it, and he's my son. So definitely doing that. But I wanted to say all of this because, the more and more I think about this video and looking at it and looking at the details and look at what's on the bottom, yes, there's a lot of questions about this well. Also, again, thank you for your question. You had those questions. Please put those big question marks there. Oh yeah, the bottled water. Okay, the rest of the question was that would be the first thing a person would take through the day. Then that's exactly right. The first thing they do is take some water. Heck, even the rancher said if his cattle, if that vehicle was there, his cattle would have got to that water, tried to get to that water. I mean, it's a desert. Them cows, we seen a dead cattle out there, big dead cow out there when I first started my searches. Big horn cattle. They die because of the heat, right? They die out there because they can't find water. They out there just free roaming, and he said, hey, they would have saw that water in that vehicle. Since that water in the vehicle, they would have tried to rip that vehicle apart to try to get to that water. So yeah, water is very important out there. Even the animal know they need that water. So again, thank you, Jazz Raglan, for being here this morning. I do have a question right here from Jazz. Thank you again for being here. The question is if passenger airbag deployed because someone was sitting there, or did that they deployed because of the make and model of the car? And I think that was you that asked that question earlier, if I'm not mistaken. But that's the question I had about the airbags. Well, according to my former accident reconstructionist PI, he said that that particular vehicle didn't have the sensor that would know that if a person's sitting there or not. So he's saying that all the airbags would deploy regardless of what kind of accident it is. That's what he was telling me. But like I said earlier, I'm a guy, just like I'm doing due diligence with as well, that Buckeye search, they didn't go past the water level. I would be doing the same thing about the vehicle, do some research on that myself on that particular vehicle, and see if those, which I'm saying, my accident reconstruction, he's very capable, and he was really good at his job. But me as a person, I definitely do my due diligence. I just don't take a word for people, whether I believe you or not. I just don't take the word. I just like to see things myself. And so I will be checking into that a little farther. But as I'm told right now, the vehicle itself do not have that sensor that would determine if somebody's sitting in that seat or not for the airbag deploy. So that's what I was told. So we'll find that out. when I get information, I will share that with you all about that because, I would think a 2017 will be a newer model where I thought is probably required for all vehicles that, because airbags can kill children, and I can see that being a liability for the makers of Jeep. And, it is kind of hard to see that they wouldn't have that feature in that vehicle. But nevertheless, that's what was given to me by my accident reconstruction at the time. He even said it on some of the news channels. So we had to go with that for right now. All right. Thank you also, Angelica Cole. Thank you for being here this morning. I really appreciate you being here again. And everybody who came back, some. I apologize for those who left, and I did put that up, say I would be back on Monday because of technical difficulties, but I don't like to stop, so I just decided. I'm at 400 feet right here in this well. You see those grooves in the side, that's where the water actually comes into the well from the ground, the underground river and things like that. So it's a strainer in a sense, so keep all the debris out and things like dirt and this and that, blah, 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 but allow the water to flow in. So you'll see those right there. That's how the water actually get into the well itself from out the dirt, out the ground. But you see all that debris still floating around from all that stuff that settled down from the top and coming down to the bottom. And you'll see what happened once we get down to the bottom as well. We're at 418 feet. It's only getting worse as we get down there. You see some of the stuff still falling, the wood debris from that wood that was all the way at the top. Some of that stuff did settle, make its way down that far. Please help find Daniel.com. Thanks and sign that petition, you guys. We will have an event coming up where we'll be having a petition signing. You guys can, join in. Some people ask, hey, Mr. Robinson, how can we help? Get help in this way. We're going to post that up. The team and myself, we're going to post the ways that you guys can help with this petition signing, get more people to sign that petition and things like that. So that would be coming up on the events tab on the Please Help Find Daniel.com website. There'll be some other things that's coming up. And you guys know I'll be in CrimeCon next weekend. Not this weekend here, but next weekend I'll be out there in Vegas doing the CrimeCon convention. Being able to talk about Daniel's story, be able to network out there. And also I got 12,000 flyers that I'm going to try to put out there in Vegas. People from all over the place there. My team and I, we're ready. We're ready to get those flyers out there. It's going to be the biggest flyer distribution that I had since I started the flyer distribution. And we're going to get those flyers out there and, and get them done. I'm smiling because, that's that CrimeCon is a good way to get my son's story out there. And I'm really excited about that. And also to be able to talk about it. There's going to be over 5,000 people that I'll be able to tell my son's story to. And so that's very, very good. Very good. God's been blessing with that. That's amazing that I was invited. I think this Dr. Phil, the one that invited me out there, and I'm going to go out there and get my son's story out. So, all right, forever curious, have a question. Has historic satellite imagery being used? Google Earth Pro version can be used in specific theme locations and dates. Yeah, I did some of those type deals, but it wasn't updated. Google had a lot of stuff that wasn't updated at the time, and it's still not updated. It's updated. The last update was like before my son went missing, so it didn't utilize. I couldn't be able to get help from that, but I was trying to find other sources of satellite imagery to be able to search for if I see any clues and things like that. But put a whole bunch of them together. I probably need a team of people who actually sit there and just look at all these imageries and try to, put them together and see if we can come up with something. But yeah, thank you so much, Forever Curious, for that question. Also, thank you guys. You guys want to ask a question, please put a word question there or a big question mark or even capital letter Q. That helps out a lot. Also, don't forget the tip line. You can remain anonymous. You can be non-anonymous. The tip line will be strolling on the bottom there. If you guys have any tips and things like that, please utilize that tip line. I did get some tips yesterday and the day before. Very helpful tip. We're working on something right now. And matter of fact, I can say this. I'm working with the Buckeye Police Department on that one. I did talk to Detective Biffin. I sent him a text. He texted me back. I tried to call him. He didn't answer. Like I told you, I have a hard time even getting conversation with these guys. But I did send him a text message about a certain thing that we are working on my end, but I'm making sure they're working on it on their end to get some information about some things that was going on in the comment sections and stuff like that. So we're definitely going to be looking into all those kind of things. And thank you guys, because those information when it came out, if it wasn't for you all in the public to share that with me and everybody, so on the team and also with the department and myself. So tips are very important. That's the reason why I had the anonymous tip line there. You can be anonymous or non-anonymous. It's 24 hours, 7 days a week tip line, live operators. If you don't want to talk to anybody again, you already know the drill. You can also text the word tip to that number. The same number you see stroll on the bottom of the screen, you can text the word tip to it, and you can still remain anonymous. Nobody would know. You can talk about which one, and you can also talk to me through that that tip line service. They would send me a text message. Person would like to have that conversation, and that thing would come to me, and we can have a little conversation about whatever you need to say. All right, thank you so much. But please, that tip line is not for a conversation as in, oh, I think you need to go search here. This is my opinion about this, blah, blah, so on, so on. It's some things that actually would lead, some clues and lead me to finding my son. So if you guys can reserve that for the cell phone number, if you guys want to give suggestions and things like that, or things you making, contribute and things like that, please use it for that, the cell phone number. Angelica, thank you so much for being here this morning. If it's duplicate, yeah, thank you for the duplicate. I need the duplicates. If I missed your question, I'll go over it again. Have you been able to identify the original crash site before the vehicle was driven 11 extra amount? No, we have not. And that's one of the biggest puzzlements. That's the reason why we need the information from the Uconnect that's in the vehicle. The satellite ping locations and all that kind of stuff that's very important. Even where Daniel driving from his home, that morning to make it out to these well sites, all the things that Buckeye Police Department claim they cannot get. So we've been asking that from day one as a family, and those are things that they say they can't get. They don't want to get a warrant because the judge wouldn't give them authorization for that, give them a warrant because they want to make it, they're not making it a criminal case or even a suspected criminal case, some kind of way to be able to go ahead and get those warrants and things like that from a judge. So we're not being able to have that. So that's what happened with that stuff. Also, multiple ways you can help. Please help finddaniel.com. The information there that you can help in other ways. I have a question here from D Love. Question is, Mr. Robinson, do you know when that well was installed? I think it was in the 80s, what I was told. Is there a way to know that the date? Yeah, it was in the 80s when that well was installed, if I'm not mistaken. This well right here in particular, it was, I think he said it was somewhere in 2000 something. I can't remember, but yeah, I had those dates written down, but it wasn't too long when those wells was put in, except for the other one. The other one was a lot older, but it's a lot cleaner. But this one is a lot newer than the one that Daniel was last seen at. So, but I will check it to get the exact date again. But I do have those exact dates down where those these wells was drilled in and things like that. So, all right, thank you for that question, and thank you, Amber, for giving your condolences to our family. I really appreciate that. You guys can keep my family in prayer. I really appreciate that because we need that. Say we had a loss of my auntie a few days ago now. And we're still dealing with that. So thank you all for being. Thank you, Monica, for being here. I really appreciate it. You coming in, Ambar. Thanks for being here. Good morning to you. And thank you again, Shauna, for putting this up. We had 113,790 signatures, and we need more. And those are not just signatures; those are people. So that's you signing those petitions. If you got more than one email, you can sign a petition multiple times. But those are people. That are you. You're the people who have a voice here. Who wanted to help out with my son's case, to have your voice heard when those things go in front of the Attorney General's office and things like that. I have the backing of the people. So I really appreciate you guys if you go on and continue to sign that petition. So whenever the time comes we need it, it'll be up there. We're trying to get even 150,000 if we can a signature. So if you guys can do that, I really appreciate it. Let's see who else I got here. Stephanie again. Thanks for being here. Oh, what we're looking at is the well. What you're looking at right here in the background, Stephanie, is the well. This well is the one that is north of the one that Daniel was last seen. The one that Daniel was last seen, I do have that footage too. I checked both wells check. As you know, the reason why I have this done is I did ask the Buckeye Police Department to come out to do this well. I mean, I asked them well in advance. You guys know I've sent the letter to Chief Hall with some other things. Also, them to invite this other nonprofit group to help out with the drones. But to make a long story that he did accept that request. They've sent his officer out there to help me out on the search. And I had to do it before. The last time they came empty-handed. This time to check that well, they came empty-handed too. But they said they was going to do all of the stuff, but they came empty-handed. But we came on a weekday. I came out here out there in the desert with the Buckeye Police Department to have these wells searched. They didn't search the well that Daniel was last seen because it had some equipment on it, and they couldn't get the guys to get the equipment off of it, supposedly. And so they did the one here, the one you're looking at now. Only problem they did is had this makeshift camera they got from these guys, I don't know, from out of Maricopa County somewhere. And the cameras they used did not do what this camera is doing here. Couldn't touch the water. So some reason they think I would have been satisfied with that, going down to the water level and then pull it back out, say, oh, well, Mr. Robinson, that's the last end. That's the end of it. And your son is not in this well, or ain't nothing to look in this well, nothing in this well. I didn't settle for that. I didn't want to be come off as a police, always got some anti-police or something, because I'm not anti-police. So I just kept my mouth closed and just went ahead and just go ahead and do it myself. I wasn't satisfied with the performance that they did, and also not satisfied with the cadaver dog they say they have. Some little pet. I keep forgetting about putting a picture up here, but a little dog, cute little thing. Out here they call it a cadaver dog, really white, fluffy little dog. But they said it was a cadaver dog, and it didn't alert on anything. So, so being that all that happened, I decided to get the company myself, and was able to get that and get them to go ahead and go down in this water and search this well. And this is what this video is for, Stephanie, is the well being searched. And this is how you properly search a well. Go down in there, look at the sidewalls. But the good part is we had to make a deal. The owners of this well allowed us to go down in the wells. Only they didn't want us there first. They was asking about insurance. Had to take us some issues about insurance stuff because there are liabilities. And then from that point, we made a deal because the company itself will be giving them a free well inspection. So that's why you see him looking on the sidewalls and things like that, stopping and do the sidewall, because it's also an inspection of that well. So the owners get a free inspection of the well, but I also get my search of the well at the same time. So all that work in conjunction together. So that's why you constantly see him stopping and looking at the sidewalls and this and that, because he had to put right down and what he see and whatever the damage or whatever case may be from that standpoint, his job standpoint of searching this well and checking the viability, or you could say, or the structure of the well itself. So, but like I said, I was able to search the well. So that's what I'm doing, is showing you all this well being searched and what my suspicions are about this one well. And that's why when it's indicated this well here is because of what was down at the bottom. As you know, we passed the structure that was at the top, the pipe, and the wood structure that was holding that pipe from coming all the way down where we're at now. We're at 764 feet. If that wood structure wasn't there, that pipe would have been all the way down to the bottom down there. But that wood structure impeded that pipe from making it all the way down to the bottom. But we was able to get around that pipe through the center and make it all the way down to almost near the bottom. This well almost 1,000 feet down, and so we'll move almost to the bottom now. And once we get down to the bottom, near the bottom, and you start seeing more things, then I'm going to start telling you guys about what I've seen in this well. After looking at the video over and over again, and what my suspicions are, and see if you guys have those same suspicions. If you have questions about it, please do that too. You can ask your questions about it. I really appreciate it. And the question is, that's what we're going to find out, Stephanie. Is it possible for a person to fall down the well? Is the question, and that's what we're going to find out, what's on the bottom as well. And you can see the reason why. And you can see all the debris that's constantly. I can play the other video, you guys. and you'll see how clean and clear the water is going all the way down that well versus this well is newer. And all the debris and things like that, the trash and the dirtiness like it is, the filtration is all horrible going down. That's because now that I look at this video more and more, that's because a large amount of dirt was thrown down in that well for whatever reason. And you'll see that once you get down to the bottom. All right. And thank you, Don, for being here this morning. Good morning to you. I really appreciate it. You coming out. Thank you so much. God bless you for that. Coming out here this morning to be part of the Q&A. I do have a question here from Renee. Thanks for being here. Is there any way to save this video? And once you get cleared on YouTube, you can upload this video to YouTube. Well, yeah, I have this video. This video is my own personal video. Of course, I'm just playing it here on the StreamYard here in this Q&A. But yeah, I do have this video. And so that's part of my what I have here from the company provided for me. So thank you for your question. And let's see who I got here. Stephanie again. Thank you so much for being here. I do have a question from D Love. Thank you, D Love. Mr. Robinson, do you think that wood in the well was used to do damage on the windshield? I don't know. But you know what? My former private investigator, he think that something was thrown at it, or it could have been hit with a bat or something heavy, and one part of it on the crest of where the roof line is, something hit that and kind of roll down the windshield to put that pressure on the passenger side, and the other side was definitely hit with something. So because of those impressions is pressed in. We have some people would think that because of the airbags, and that's not plausible. Airbags would have been pushing it outward. But yeah, that was the impressions that was pushed in as an indication somebody was trying to break the windshield and hit something from outside going inward. It wasn't his head or anything like that. Hit the windshield inside coming out is opposite direction. So yeah, I don't know what it was, the structure was used or whatever, or anything, but it do appear that somebody used something large to try to knock out the windshield or get through the windshield. All right. Also, I have a question here from Jitterbug. Will it be possible? I'm thinking outside of the box. Okay, I'm not sure what the question referring to, but yes, you got to also think outside the box, and that's what I do here. Just think, just look at this, for instance, and I had to look at this video dozens of times just to make the comments I'm making so far today. Shiro's Nation, is it true? And thank you for you coming in again. I love your questions. Is it true the seatbelt was buckled during the crash? Was that determined from the black box data? Now, I don't know that. I never heard it coming from the black box data. The only thing I heard was that, that's a good question. I need to find out that because he didn't. My private investigator never said the black box data showed that the seatbelt was locked. Also, Buckeye Police Department never said it when they checked the black box data. The only thing they said from the Buckeye Police Department, we know it was he had a seatbelt on because of the way the seatbelt locked. I don't know if you had a seatbelt and you yank forward and I guess it locked and you take the seatbelt off, it must have then retract back in or something like that. I guess that's assuming what they're trying to say was like that. I don't know how true all that is with seatbelts and things like that, but I guess with the vehicles turning sideways like that, I maybe possible seatbelt can lock, but anybody can pull a seatbelt and it will lock like that, because of the way the car is tilted. So I do not know. I do not know all of that. We don't have those the answer to that part. With the black box data part, no. Only thing I know it was described to me from the Buckeye Police Department that is because it was locked. The seatbelt itself was locked. Now, one thing I can say, it depends on how much slack is in that that seatbelt. If you want to take what I would have done as an investigator is I would have took that seatbelt after I did all my investigative stuff. Take the seatbelt and just simply put it in the part that attaches to, and see how much spacing it between that seat. If it's locked, how much spacing between that seat and that seatbelt, and see if anybody even can sit in that between that distance. And that would determine a lot too. But things like that, of course, wasn't done because there wasn't no forensic work done on my son's vehicle at that scene or anything else. So and so that's problematic anyway. Just to have those kind of answers, that's common sense stuff to me. Also, I have a question here from Don. Are these walls open at any given time, or just when the workers are there? Oh, these wells open. I'm sorry. Yeah, they always there. They was always open. They're supposed to have locks on them. I was just out there the other day, and they're not locked. They should be. I saw them so-called lock them when I was out there. Well, this guy here, he locked it. Once he finished his well, we was leaving. He actually had this tool where he turn it to it locked. So whoever came in after that, they unlocked it. So I don't know. It could be one of the workers who own, or person who owned the well. I don't know. Came out there, but last we were in this well on this video, for instance, once he came out, he locked it. It wasn't locked before he went in there, but he did lock it. When I say lock it, didn't put a lock on it, but he had this tool where it turns and it kind of spans on the side to keep it from the top from coming up. And so he did do that before he pulled off. So before we got out of there. But like I said, it was unlocked the other day, so anybody can go in that well. So thank you, Gwen, for putting us up. The tip line, you guys don't forget the tip line. You can remain anonymous. Again, I'm Dave Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson. Getting close to my time. I had to get off this Q&A. I apologize again, you guys. Everybody who came back, I really thank you so much for coming back again and hanging in there. I did put that banner up there that I was going to go ahead and just continue on Monday, but I'm a person that just don't like to give up on something. The thing was irritating me because I was trying my best to come back on after seeing that restriction banner. And it didn't work out smoothly for me. I didn't want you guys waiting, so I just put the banner up there saying, hey, I'll do this on Monday. But like I said, I'm a guy that don't like to give up on stuff either. And being that I was able to come off the StreamYard, pick it back up and figure it out, I was pushing it, and I was able to do so. So I'm back here to try to finish this Q&A. Because of that, though, I'm running out of timing because I do have some things I take care of this morning. And I want to make sure I'm not on here too long to get behind on things, events and things I take care of today. But I want to talk about this well. I did want to talk about the timeline. I'll probably do that on a different video later on today if I have extra time this evening. Again, to play the video again of me out there doing the retake of this guy's his journey that he told us about my son. But I want to stop real quick here because I want to talk about getting to this point of this well. And Shiro's Nation, I do see your question. I'm gonna put it right here. I do see your question, and I will come back to your question. So, but I want to talk about this well real quick. He's doing the sidewalls, finishes his intake about this well. That's again the little slats there where the water actually can come in through to fill the well up. It's down deep down in that well, 931 feet down that well. Also, that's how the water also comes in through the well, but it's a filtration system, so nothing will get in that well, so the water can stay clear. Now we're going back down again, and I just saw this a while ago, but now we get to the bottom of this well, and this is the special stuff that I was telling you guys about. You remember the structure that was above up there with, like I said, the wood structure that was there blocking the big pipe that somebody tried to throw in there, I guess, for whatever reason. And then you can start understanding probably some of the reasons why. All the debris and stuff that I'm telling you guys, I really determined that to be a lot of debris from all the large amount of dirt that was thrown down in there to cover something. I don't know what that something is, but it was a lot of dirt thrown down in that well. Allowed us to see right here on the side here. Let me pause this real quick if I can. Right here, you can see a pipe on the side right there on your left-hand side of that screen. You'll see a pipe. That pipe right there is going to be a fence. If you guys was on the ground level, we was up there on the ground level. There's a whole big chain fence fencing around that well, and some of that fencing is torn, right? And you wonder where the pipe of the pipes that hold that fencing together was missing. That's it right there down in the well, right? It's down in the well, and that's where it was. You know, you think of all the time you go to this well, you think that one pole missing is probably something they took with them because they had to get inside the well and it was in the way or whatever. No, it's down in that well, and don't know the reasons why. It could be used for weight and things like that. But then you're gonna see something else there also that appeared to be used for weight, to hold something, take something down to the bottom. So I'm gonna continue this video. and tell you the reasons why I have my suspicions. I could be totally wrong, but this is my suspicions about this well and the reasons why, and to see what your opinions is. And I put it there for a reason. Putting this out like that for a reason. All right. He had to do his inspection, of course, looking at this stuff. But you know what? We'll get back down to this pipe. He had to check that out too. But this is the pipe right here. That's the top of it. And as you come down, that's the pipe, top of the pipe where we have the little cap at the top, the little pretty round little cap that should be there, but that's missing, of course. But as you come down this pipe, you'll see the junction area where the fencing part connects, the little pole that goes across horizontal. That's where it connectors come in. But he's going to go down the side of it. And I'm going to point out one thing. I'm going to pause this one thing. But you can see it right there. But once you can see a lot better once he hit it from a side angle. But some of that, he hit the pole a little bit, so some of the debris is starting to fall off. But that's, if you look at that part right there, is what I'm saying. Is that's the part where the other side of the pole, the horizontal part of the fencing pole, connects to, right? So I'm gonna keep going. And once you go down, I'll stop it again. But Shiro's Nation, don't worry, I'm gonna get to your question. I'm going to get off this Q&A. I wanted to share some other things with you guys, the other video, but like I said, I'll probably do that later on the day. I do need to get off this Q&A. It's going on 2 hours. But right here, that's where this the little part, like I said, that connects the other side of the pole. But y'all notice that all that debris and all that stuff, I told you, the dirt that was dumped down there, it collected right there. That's what that is. Somebody dumped a large amount of dirt, and that dirt collected. You know how something is turning horizontal, everything that's coming down is going to land right there on that pole and start, coming down the sides of it. So that's the dirt that just stayed there, didn't make it down to the bottom. So that indicate, that's how I knew something was thrown down in there, right? So we're going to keep going down. And so still some of that stuff still trying to settle. Once you hit it, still trying to settle now, going down to the bottom of that well. But anyway, in the meantime, I'm going to answer this question. Shiro's Nation, do you think a person was seriously with a serious head injury would know to keep trying to start ignition, but not be cognitive enough to call someone for help once it failed to start? And see, that's the thing. There's 4 to 6 initial cycles, you guys, after the vehicle was crashed. It was driven and left additional miles, all that stuff. You got to consider all of that. And she's right. They have you to believe that he had to change the clothes. He had, with a head injury, he had some kind of change of clothes. He had the common sense to do that, change his clothes, or took his clothes off because it's hot. He had common sense to do it because he felt like it's hot, and he just went off, or whatever the case may be, but didn't answer his cell phone, or didn't take his cell phone with him, things like that. Like you're saying here, there's a lot of things that don't make sense. If you're disoriented, why are you gonna put your clothes in a pile? You know what I'm saying? You coming out of a vehicle just from a crash, and you don't take your clothes off. You just sling them all over the place. I wouldn't be sitting there constantly. Take the shirt off, and I just drop right here. Take my pants off, and I'm gonna drop it on here. That type stuff. It don't make sense. Take my safety vest and put it right here, and put the rest of the things. You guys, you got to use those kind of things. And for just saying all of that to the Buckeye Police Department is no criminal. They don't see nothing criminal about it. They don't see no criminal, nothing going on. Hey, Mr. Robinson, here's your son's things. He's gonna come back for his things with his head injury that he shredded his clothes off. He's gonna come back to get his things from you guys. Here it is. Have a good day. Thank you so much for coming out to Buckeye to check on your son. And that's in the story until, like I said, this thing became national, and now it changed up. So thank you guys again for pushing and helping me get this story national, and being able to get pressure put on the department to do something. A little too late. Them guys turned over everything to me. But you know what? But thank you so much for giving that pressure to continue my efforts to get the FBI into my son's case and find out what's really going on. Get the Justice Department if I have to, whoever, to come in and look at this whole case, because I will be pushing for everything. I'm not just pushing for one thing. I'm pushing for everything. So this is another debris that he's telling me that shouldn't be in there. It's something else, some big heavy pipe that shouldn't be there. It's really large. What's that down there for? Well, the fencing was down there, and what's this down there for? But when you go down farther, this 970 feet down as well. You guys will see There's stuff down on the bottom there, but this whole pipe or whatever the thing is, those are little structures and things I've seen on the ground out there above ground. They have a bunch of those pipes lying out. You probably, if I had a different video, you guys would have saw that. But there's a lot of pipes out there. And you see that little white structure there? That's what we're gonna start looking. I'm gonna pause right here. You probably didn't see it, but a brief second. It's like a bit bright light. I wish I could point it out. I wish I had a pointer, but a little bright light that kind of grab our attention. You know, this guy, he knows what a well look like. He does. That's what he do for a living. He knows what the breeze should and should not be there. And you know, it's some things that stood out to him. So when he saw that, of course, it stood out to him. So we talked about it. He tried to find a different angle to go down and turn the starlight on or whatever he had to do to get down in the angle and see what this one thing is down the bottom as well. And you guys will see that shortly. Again, thank you all for being here. Let me see who else I got here on this Q&A. Go down before I can. Jazz Raglan, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. You coming out this morning. And let's see who else I got. JT, thanks for being here this morning. Appreciate you coming out. Again, that's the fence pole right there. And, you know, the sidewalls and stuff like that. But he gonna get the camera to go back down and try to see what that little spot is I was telling you guys about. The suspicious. Does the company supply cell phones and tracking devices for employee safety while they're in the field? Is there something they should definitely consider? Yes, they do not have. Let me pause this film real quick. They do not have cell phones they give the workers. In fact, 90% of everything that Daniel does, or any of the workers, I'm sure, but Daniel, I don't go by him. What he tell me does is out of his own pocket. You know, he had to use his own cell phone, his own vehicle, his own gas, that type deal to go out to these different cities or whatever. They don't have that type of system where they have a tracking system and all that for their workers and stuff, things like that. So they don't have that, right? So being that they don't have that kind of tracking system, whatever, then you had to use his own. He had to put in expensive reports and things like that for expenditures that he used out there. But this is the bottom well. You guys, y'all can see it's 970 feet, but it's probably a little deeper than that. 970, I say roughly 72 feet, because we probably like 2 feet away from the exact bottom. But all that dirt and stuff that was dumped down there, that's it there down on the bottom of the well. But yeah, he had to really provide some of those things for himself down there. So when you go to these well sites. So thank you, T, for your question. And let's see who else I got here. Wendy, thank you for being here this morning for the Q&A. I really appreciate you coming out. And let's see, I think that's it. But anyway, I'm going back to the video. And once I'm finished the video, we're going to go ahead and get off this Q&A for this morning. And thank you guys for hanging in there with the technical difficulties earlier. I decided to go ahead and finish the Q&A and go ahead and do it. Even after I put out that I was going to, wait till Monday to go ahead and finish it. But, got it done. Got the questions in. I really appreciate you guys with your questions and things like that. But this is the well. If everybody wondered what I was showing, this is the well. That's one of the inspection of a well and search of a well. Not just a desert search, but this is a search of the wells, one of the wells that have been searched, that I had out there searched for Daniel. So just want to make sure you guys can see. All right, and once this is done, like I said, I will be ending this Q&A. I wanted to bring in another video. I just didn't have the time. Another video I want to talk about, and that one was to show you guys about the walkthrough of that well. I mean, the walkthrough of the story, I'm going to say. So. But it's a white structure right there that's on the top right there. That's what we was looking at. If y'all guys can see that. That white structure there at the top of where it said 970 there. That's what I was looking at there. And we was trying to determine what it is. And so And so we're gonna get that looked at to make sure I can find out. He's gonna try to take the camera to try to move the debris around, the settlements around to try to determine all of that. But yeah, we're definitely gonna have that looked into. So tell me what you guys think, and I guess I will be ending the Q&A here. Thank you so much, Kim, for your comment. Thank you, Rod, the creator. I really appreciate it. Well, I'll be checking these the text messages, Rod, the creator. Thanks so much. I'll be checking these messages, voice message. That you saying, checking these voice messages and also the text messages. So you guys can bear in with me. I'll be doing that also. Thank you, Don Pratt. Thank you, Kim. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you, Wendy. I'm going down this comment session. I want to tell you all thank you so much for coming out to this Q&A. And I will be talking with you guys on Monday. I'll be back here on Monday at 6:30 a.m. That's 9:30 a.m. on the Eastern time, Eastern Seaboard. So you guys can come back out to the Q&A and join in with us. God bless you, and thank you for thank you for your patience. Thank you all for your patience coming back in here for this Q&A, allowing me to be able to do this 2-hour Q&A. Most of it at the beginning wasn't working out the way I really like to, but you guys was able to say help me get it done today. So just by coming in and asking the questions you have asked and being a part of the Q&A. So again, thank you so much, and God bless you for just everything you do for me and my family to make sure that we have the positive energies that we need and things like that. So thanks so much. God bless you, and I will again see you all on the next Q&A. Again, like I said, I'll be on Monday at 6:30. You guys can continue to pray for me and my family as we go through, the death of my auntie, and also searching for Daniel. So you guys can just constantly keep us in your prayers. I really appreciate that. I love you all, and thank you so much. God bless you.